I finished the new Joker drawing at around 10 p.m. Or pretty much within the last hours of the day. I first finished up the clown shoes, which I believe I did at some point before Mom made steak and eggs around 4 p.m. I finished the drawing around 10 p.m., about a few minutes before exactly. It turns out for the eggs, she used some of the extra large that we got from Wegmans the other day. After I had the steak and eggs, I worked on the back of the suit jacket, for which I executed an idea I got either first at some point today or yesterday, but it was only today that I talked to my dad about it during a phone call. Which was to draw a smiley face with X's for eyes and a bullet hole on their forehead. With blood dripping down, and then there would be text in cursive that said, "Have a nice day." I figured something like that would be macabre. And macabre tends to be the Joker's style. At least in my mind. I made the cursive text using a third-party website that generates text in cursive. And then this was around the evening time. I wrote that cursive out using a neon yellow Sharpie marker. I used an ultrafine black Sharpie marker to make the circle for the smiley face. I tried my best with the circle. I didn't make a perfect circle, since that's very difficult to do without a circle tracer. Yeah, but I did pretty good, and it ended up making its own good style. I drew in the smile I wanted, with the teeth I wanted. And it ended up having just the kind of look I wanted. I used a red fine tip Sharpie marker. And to make the blood around the bullet hole, which I depicted using a brown Sharpie marker. I used the red to also make the blood that traveled down the smiley face, as well as the blood splatters behind the smiley face. And since for any given bullet wound to the head, there's going to be blood splatters. And if it's a front to back bullet wound, the blood splatter is going to be behind the head. For the back of the suit jacket, I mostly used a fine-tipped purple Sharpie marker. That, while is starting to dry out, it still worked well enough for me to complete the job. And I recall Dad calling me around 11 p.m. in order to ask for a front and back picture of the new Joker drawing. When he asked me if I finished the new Joker drawing, and I said yes. These were unofficial pictures that I'm probably not going to put on a YouTube video, because I took them under artificial light. And in particular, at one point today, I requested that the light bulb on my bookshelf be replaced with a light bulb in Mom's room. that was on a lamp that looked like it was just a glass bottle, a glass rectangular bottle. Like what you might see in a big whiskey bottle. I requested the replacement because well, more like the swap, because this new light bulb for my room, relatively speaking, produced white light, while the old one produced yellow light, which is the kind of light you see now. A yellow light works just fine if all you need to do is light up a room. But the thing with yellow light is that it makes it difficult, more difficult than it has to be, for me to color around something yellow as I was doing in this case to work on the back of the suit jacket for the new Joker polystyrene drawing. In this case, going around the neon yellow cursive text that made up the "Have a nice day" text. During that phone call in which I brought up the design idea with my dad, he suggested I cross out the nice with not. Only I decided it would be more macabre to just leave the nice uncrossed and not put in that not. I was trying to go around that text with that starting to dry up purple Sharpie marker. Under yellow light, it was pretty hard to see that neon yellow Sharpie against white polystyrene. And that's the color you want polystyrene to be. And luckily, the varieties that are white are the most common, because when it's white, for its default color, it's like a blank canvas. Thus allowing you to be the most creative. Although I did at one point make a polystyrene drawing back on the 23rd of February of 2016. So relatively early on, I did make a drawing out of a piece of styrofoam that, instead of being white, was a pale green. Although, again, it was relatively early on. This was a drawing I did using pen ink during a time where I had pretty much transitioned over to Sharpie markers, or at least primarily permanent markers. And also, if polystyrene is white by default, it makes it relatively easy. It makes it possible for you to make something white on a polystyrene drawing. There's no such thing as a white Sharpie marker. At least not one that I've ever seen during all the shopping trips we went at either brick and mortar stores or on online realtors like Amazon or eBay that featured a white Sharpie marker. So I would most recommend white polystyrene so that you can make something white on a drawing, like I did for quite a bit of the Josh Allen, the second one drawing, and like I did for the Joker's painted face, and by simply not coloring that area in with any Sharpie markers. Same for some of the white parts of that Uncle Sam drawing I did about 2 to 3 months ago. And same thing I do for just about every single portrait drawing, which is the vast majority of my polystyrene drawings. Because a person's eyeballs are mostly white. By default. And that new white light, the white light that came from that new light bulb for the lamp on the bookcase, on my bookcase that's near my closet, which is the only one I have on in my room if I have a light on. Because the other light bulb lamp is next to one of the bins that stores some of my polystyrene drawings. And I have concerns that if my polystyrene drawings are directly next to artificial light, it'll somehow damage them. So I like my artificial lighting to be some distance away from any polystyrene drawings that I've done. I realize now I've got 3 bins of polystyrene drawings that are right in front of my bookcase. But in the case of that other lamp light bulb, the lamp pretty much touches that polystyrene styrofoam bin, which is directly to the right of that lamp.